Welcome to my podcast journal. First, let's just start this one off right here. Why did I start the podcast? Good question. I started the podcast because I had no one to talk to. I started the podcast because I felt like that I would be judged. I felt like I would be ridiculed. I felt like I would be talked about. And I felt like I didn't have a listening ear at the moment and I didn't have the support. And my podcast has really been an outlet for my growth, for my healing, and for my strength. And now that my podcast is actually picking up and growing, I'm still learning a lot of things about me. Like, I'm still learning how to be a listener, still learning how to give support without giving my, personal opinion about people and the things that they should do. So now I kind of ask for permission when I am on my podcast, and I also kind of not give so much advice because I feel like a lot of times with myself in my past, I have given advice that I haven't even used or implemented into my own life. So for me now, I try to ruminate on what it is that I want to say to somebody in reference to just being there and support or even lifting them up. Now, where do I get the name Shit Not Sweet from? I get the name Shit Not Sweet because what I was going through was not fucking sweet. It was horrendous. It was a tsunami. It was like life devastating events. And it was almost like I lost everything. I lost me. And I almost lost everything, but I lost me. I lost the old me. I lost the new me. I had no identification of, I could not identify myself. So when you think about identification, you think about like, who are you? It was nobody to this person. I felt like I was an empty vessel. I was an empty soul. And I just think like the podcast name matched for what I was going through because I always guarantee to be real to myself. That's the one thing I can guarantee myself, that I'm always going to be a realist to me. I don't give a fuck who feel like I'm not real to them. That's your personal opinion about me. But my opinion about myself, I'm guaranteed, approved, hood stamp, black card. I'm real when it comes down to who I am. I just know how to deal with people. And that's the God honest truth. Going forward, what do my family think about my podcast? I don't really think my family is too keen about it. I don't really think they're too excited about it. I don't really put out a lot of things about my family on my podcast. I might drop little shit every now and then. My cousins said that I drags for my mama and for my sister, and that's not fucking true at all. Honestly, I could drag for a motherfucking regular if that's what I want to do, but that's not who I am. I really feel like my podcast is my truth. My podcast is a way of me identifying my hurt and my pain and me being able to deal with things. And it really does piss me off when people tell me, well, you're not always right. I'm not trying to be right for you. I'm not. Maybe I'm wrong in your eyes. Maybe the words that I'm saying is not making sense to you. But it's my words, it's my truth. So how you going to critique me on how I feel? How you going to critique me on my wording? You cannot critique nobody on the way they feel. And I feel like that's kind of dismissive and fucking selfish for a person to tell you you can't speak your truths. You can very much so speak your truths. So with that being said, my family don't really fuck with me on it, like nowhere of a lie, and I'm okay with that. I just know one thing and two things for sure. The only people that I know is gonna benefit off this is my children and my mother. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only thing that matter. Do my sister and my brother care about it? I really don't think so. No, my sister and my brother, they have their own things going on, but I do know that my sister have saw growth in me. And my brother, he just want me to support him just as much as he supports me. So that's just it. Do I think that things have changed in a sense of how I delegate about life while doing this podcast? It has. This podcast has really caused me to critique myself in so many ways because I am a people pleaser. That's what people don't know about me. People think that sometimes I'm so blunt and real and I'm like very aggressive that I don't have a soft side, which I really do have a really deep soft side. And sometimes that would make me clash with people because I'm so soft to where they don't see the other side of me. Lately, I've been really trying to be me, and I hint to people like, hey, tread lightly, you fucking with thin ice. So it's just that, and it's like this podcast is a journey. I hope one day that this podcast could bring me a lot of revenue, a lot of opportunities. I want to be on the mainstream platform, and I'm getting there. It's hard work and perseverance when it comes down to this podcast. But this is the podcast, and I'm really I'm enjoying it. And the more and more I talk about, my life, it's the more and more I feel like I have different coping mechanisms. I feel like I'm more in tune to who I am. And one of the things my podcasts have taught me for real is about be one with my emotions. That's something that I think I struggle with, and a lot of people struggle with versus like being true to yourself and your emotions. Like, it's very hard, and I don't want to start crying because I do cry a lot, and it's just who I am. When you are dealing with your true raw emotions, it could be really devastating and afflicting at times. And I guess one may say, oh, I use the word devastating because it's hard. Like, how many times have you, and I'm talking to you, you have buried your skeletons and you have to go dig your skeletons up? You don't bury your skeletons to relive them and to re-see them. You bury your skeletons to throw them away, to put them away, to make like they never happened, like they obsolete. And what happens with me is that I decided to stop throwing away the key, because I realized every door I close, I have to walk back into this. Every skeleton that I call myself bearing, I got to dig it up, because I really feel like you have to see your past in order to go forward. And that's the problem. I feel like what was with me for a very long time. I was unable to go forward because of the fact I didn't really want to rehash or go back and understand my problems, my hurt. What was the reason why I couldn't get ahead? So now that I'm starting like to plant myself as a seed, and I'm starting to harvest, you know, my plant, I'm realizing is that I cannot harvest any seed, you know, any plant that I don't nurture. And sometimes my nurturing is hurt, pain, tears, sorrow, you know, and sometimes it's joy. It's feeling like I'm executing my plans. It's making me be, you know, I'm rejoicing, I'm happy. You know what I'm saying? All the words that you could use, and I can't even get it in my head right now, but it's like I'm hopeful. All these things goes into me nurturing the seed that I'm putting in. And it's like, whether you say that you're done in the process of healing, you're never done in the process of healing, because there's so many layers that one person have. And I could be honest and tell you, like, I'm on this journey of now this like realizing like where I need to be. I know who I am now. You know, I know the old me, the new me, and where I am now is really where I'm trying to be. And to break it down, like, I'm at peace. I'm at peace with the woman I am. I'm at peace with who I was before, and I'm at peace with everybody who has broken me and hurted me and disappointed me. Now I'm moving forward to understand, what is my calling in life? What do I belong? What is my next step to what I need to do to feel fulfilled? I need to be open within myself. That's my biggest thing. And one of the things that I'm working on also too is selfish in some relationships. And it's really hard for me to selfish these relationships, because I know I was a motherfucker, like, no word of a lie. And it kind of hurtful because I hurt a lot of people along the way. But it's not even a but. Let me just take that out of my vocabulary. I hurt myself along the way too. And you know, you can't really explain to people that I was hurting and I was a hurt person that was hurting people. So now, even going back to the podcast situation, the podcast has really taught me how to reflect and dig deep inside. And that's why I have these 3 partners that I use all the time. I process, I reflect, and I reset. And all of them is not easy things to do. Me processing is fucking hard because I'm processing my emotions. Not only am I processing my emotions, I'm processing the affliction of others. Then I have to go through reflecting. I'm reflecting, where did I go wrong? Can I have stopped this from happening? I'm not putting no responsibilities on anybody. I'm taking a blunt of everything that's going on, and I'm putting myself on the forefront, because I really feel like that I can't control others, but I can control who I let around me. I can control my energy, and I can control the environment that I go into. That's just that. And when you think about resetting, the hardest thing about resetting, and I know you hear a lot of people say, well, if I gotta start over and over again, or, you know, start over again until you get it right, hey, that one last time that you try to start over, life could be gone. That's the God honest truth. Then you can have it to where you can start over and over and over and over, and nobody see the progress. You don't even see no progress because it's hard. Starting over is not easy. And let's just even dig deep. When you starting over, sometimes you got to leave people behind. Sometimes you got to get in uncomfortable spaces. Sometimes you got to have tunnel vision. It's really hard to start over, especially when you're used to what you know. And you got to unlearn certain behaviors. That's the hardest thing about starting over. And for my podcast, it really has allowed me to educate myself on so many different realms when it comes down to my life. And right now, I'm still learning me. You know, and at this current time, me learning me, I'm still like hurting, you know what I'm saying, because I'm still trying to figure things out, and some things I would never have figured out, and I'm okay that I'm never gonna have these things figured out. But I realize is that as long as I keep on going, I'm gonna have what it is I need and what it is I desire, and I'm gonna get to where I want to go and where God want me to go. Okay, I think I done it. Peace out.